nose has been deformed inward somewhat to give a large, thick ring with a cavity that could have contained debris. And this is the base. The base here is flattened slightly here and here. Normally bullets will not flatten unless there's sideways pressures. This may be an indication that the bullet tumbled in the body, went sideways, and the sideways pressure was enough to deform the jacket somewhat and peel it from the core. To show again that 45 ACP silver tips is manufactured by Winchester Western don't always expand in the human body, this is such a bullet that was removed from a victim, homicide victim. The bullet went through the scalp, went through the skull, and into the brain, and did not deform significantly. Here's the nose of it. Again, you can see where the tip has been folded down, so we have a thick ring instead of a sharp nose, and we still have ample cavity forming here. Again, through the scalp, through the bone, into the brain. No deformation. And this is the opposite side of bullet Q1. You can see there's some heavier peck marks here from the gravel. In order to test this theory about landing in the gravel parking lot, I took a silver tip bullet that I had fired, and here before you can see that it has good striations on it. Took it, kicked it around the parking lot a little bit, and we see that we've got the typical marks similar to what was present on Q1. And the health department had me look at a bullet a couple of years ago that landed in their parking lot, and again we have the typical peck marks of landing in a parking lot. This is the exit defect in Lieutenant Oliver's shirt. You can see it is an irregular tear, and it matches the irregular tearing of his skin. So the wound profile from the autopsy indicates that the bullet was behaving much like a full metal jacket performance. What could that be due to? It could be due to the fact that it may even be a different bullet. It could be due to the fact that the bullet precessed or tumbled or turned backwards and went base first and no longer presented itself as a hollow point. Or for some reason it failed to expand, perhaps because either a cocoon formed, although we don't have sufficient evidence to suggest that, although a plug of tissue or plug of material is been removed, not enough to make a true cocoon. The nose could be plugged by the material of his shirt or by the bone material filling up that hollow point cavity. It could be reduced velocity where it was a squib load and just didn't have enough energy, but on the other hand it perforated the body. It may have gone through some intermediate target. We know that occurred because of the skin wound with the fibers in it and the defect of the shirt. It went through at least his shirt. Or it could be an unexplained occurrence, something that happened that we can't fully explain, much like what happened with the silver tip bullet that failed to expand in the 20% ordnance gelatin. Now, before I go on to other areas, I'd like to also resolve the issue of the X-ray. The X-ray was found by me after reopening the case, and I turned the X-rays over to the defense team as soon as it became obvious to me that they wanted them. So that day they got them. Now the importance of the X-ray, however, is essentially diminished, in my opinion, because the defense reached their conclusions about the bullet type without the X-ray back in 1995. Now, I don't think the X-ray helped them, may give them a boost their confidence factor somewhat, but I don't believe it materially changed their opinion. Now, the thing you have to understand about the X-ray is a post-surgical film. In 1981, the Forensic Center in Memphis did not have X-ray facilities. If we wanted an X-ray, we had to call up the City of Memphis Hospital, and they would send a portable unit to the morgue and make the film there. They would then develop it and bring it back to us. The purpose that we use the X-rays for is to help focus our attention, so it saves us time. The X-ray itself, being post-surgical, it again has somewhat diminished value because in life-saving operations like a thoracotomy, the surgeon wants to get to the damaged tissues. Once he opens up the chest cavity, he will sweep away the blood that is accumulated in the chest in order to expose the damage to the lungs, the heart, or any other organ. In so doing, there could be small fragments of material that are in the blood clot that are discarded with the clot because they are of no consequence to the surgeon. So with that, the fact that it's post-surgical, the action may remove bullet fragments entrapped in the